By 2040, the curve flipped once more. Not everyone was flattened by it. Some learned how to ride it instead. The quantum leap. Today we trace the Reinvention protocol, grounded in 2025 data. Welcome to the quantum leap, where every impossible tomorrow has a footnote. We ended last chapter at the licensing wall cracking. This chapter, we ask who built the ladder. Remember Sarah's Tuesday boardroom, the silent replacement. By 2040, she is the one giving the briefing. The future does not arrive all at once. It arrives in convergences. Phase 1, the people who rode the curve. Brynjolfsson's 2024 study tracked 1,000 knowledge workers. Generative AI lifted mid-performers by 40%. Top performers barely moved. The floor rose, the ceiling held. That was the first signal of the reprice, not the erase. Peer-reviewed, replicated twice by 2026. The question shifted from who gets replaced to who gets repriced. Mid-career workers faced the sharpest repricing curve. 20 years of domain knowledge, suddenly a commodity input. But a small group rose as the curve collapsed around them. The OECD 2025 report named them the recombiners. They shared 3 traits, not 10, not a checklist. Trait 1, domain plus AI fluency, welded together. Not either, not sequential, fused. Trait 2, trust capital that a model cannot fabricate yet. Trait 3, systems framing. They saw the forest, not the task. Any one trait alone, insufficient. All 3, multiplicative. That is the pattern. Now let's look at what the science actually shows. Because the traits explain the survivors. They do not yet explain where the new value is being built. Phase 2, the anatomy of a reinvention. Meet Javier, a paralegal in Houston, 2024. By 2025, his firm deployed an autonomous contract review agent. 50% of his tasks gone in 6 months. He did not retrain, he recombined. He became the human layer between clients and the AI filings. 2 years later, his income tripled. That story repeats in the 2025 Stanford AI Index data. This is peer-reviewed. The mechanism is replicable. When radiologists lost the read, a few gained something stranger. The 2024 NBER study tracked productivity across 1,000 workers. Mid-performers gained 40%. Top performers gained almost nothing. The survivors shared one signature: systems framing over task execution. They did not fight the curve. They read its slope and climbed. So what becomes irreplaceable when everything else gets automated? Here's where the field's credibility is being tested in real time. Corporate announcements run years ahead of the peer review. That gap should concern anyone paying attention. We only cite what has been independently replicated. If you had to bet on which trait matters most, drop it in comments. We're tracking. Back to the protocol. Trait 1 examined. Domain plus AI fluency, the skill pair that compounds. Fluency does not mean learning to code. It means reading a model's output like a senior editor reads a draft. A 2026 MIT micro-credential program measured the gap. Workers with fluency training tripled their output quality scores. Here is the counterintuitive finding. Domain experts outperformed native AI engineers at domain tasks. Deep context beat shallow fluency every time. That finding flipped the 2024 consensus. Juniors were not inherently safer after all. Seniors who recombined, they were the safest of all. Trait 2, Trust Capital examined. Models can simulate words. They cannot simulate a 20-year track record. Clients still asked for Sarah by name in 2037. Trust is a collateralized form of expertise. It compounds slowly. It cannot be prompted into existence. That is why regulators and boards still named humans as signatories. So far, these look like 3 separate traits. They aren't. What happens when you braid them is something no single trait predicts. Phase 3, the convergence nobody modeled. Longevity economics met AI labor displacement in 2032. Neither field had predicted this collision. Biology stretched the career to 70 working years. AI shrank the half-life of any specific skill to 3. The arithmetic is brutal. Your working life now contains 23 distinct skill epochs. The old model assumed one career. The new math demands many. That is the reprice in its final form. It is 2036. Sarah is 56. She has just finished retraining her 3rd time. Future window, close your eyes and sit in it. Her new title did not exist when she graduated college in 2004. AI Human Translation Architect. Median salary, $340 in $2,036. The second-order consequence, even labor economists missed. Pension math fell apart first. A 40-year plan built on 20-year expertise cycles could not hold. Real estate priced for retirement migration stopped making sense. Because no one was retiring on the old schedule anymore. The scenario fork opened in 2033. Path 1, portable credentials and reskilling funds, a lifelong learning economy. Path 2, AI dividend and captured platforms, a 2-tier labor market. Both paths remain plausible. Only one is survivable for most. Timelines in emerging policy are notoriously unreliable. What matters is not the predicted date, it is the trajectory. And the trajectory now depends on regulatory votes happening this year. Portable credentials bills, dividend design, AI safety oversight. These are not abstract debates. They decide whose second career is possible. Dr. Daron Acemoglu wrote in his 2024 Nobel address, quote, "Technology produces shared prosperity only when institutions choose to share it. The curve does not decide the outcome, the institutions do. That is the civilizational variable. Sarah is one dot in a data set of billions. Now watch the recombiners do something the models missed. They built institutions, not just careers. Professional guilds for the AI era, peer review networks, portable credential registries. That is trait 3, systems framing scaled beyond the individual. A curated deeper dive. The Nature paper by Brynjolfsson and Malik documented it. Peer-reviewed, published 2026, sample size above 10,000. This is not speculation. This is how the labor market just rebuilt itself. So what does all of this mean for you, for your children, for the next 50 years? Mid-career is not an expiration date. It is a forced second act. What becomes irreplaceable? That is the civilizational question. Phase 4, the Reinvention Protocol distilled. Here is the framework, not platitudes, but the 4-question map. Question 1. Where is my domain depth still compounding? Question 2. Where am I the human layer no model can fabricate? Question 3. Which systems do I see that others do not? Question 4. Which institution will I help build for this era? That is the protocol. It is not a ladder, it is a compass. Compasses are useless if you refuse to walk. So walk. The curve is not your enemy, it is your coordinate system. When age 150 becomes plausible, retirement at 65 stops making sense. The biology stretched the lifespan. The economy did not stretch with it. Expertise cycles now collapse in 3 years, not 30. Which means your career is no longer one arc, it's 5. In 2040, Sarah's second career outturns her first by 10 times. So is expertise expiring, or just being repriced into something new? Return to Sarah's morning, 2040. She walks into the same type of boardroom that once silenced her. The AI on the table has improved 1,000-fold. She is not afraid of it. She designed the interface protocol it runs on. Future window. This is what reinvention looks like when the compass is used. The client asked for her by name, as they did in 2037. The machine gives them answers. Sarah gives them the question they did not know to ask. That is the human layer. That is trust capital deployed. Her income triples her 2025 peak. Her working life continues another 40 years. She is not racing the curve, she is riding it. Reality anchor, this is not a promise, it is a plausible path. Whether it becomes yours depends on policy, luck, and choice. 2 of those 3 are not in your control. The third is fully yours. Series thread, the inversion, the wall, the reinvention, all 3 resolved. Part 1 showed the curve inverted, seniors first, not juniors. Part 2 showed the licensing wall cracking as credentials went portable. Part 3 shows the protocol, 3 traits, 4 questions, 1 compass. The future did not arrive all at once. It arrived in convergences. Your expertise is not disappearing. It is being repriced, then reweaved. The first person to work productively to age 150 has probably already been born. They just do not know it yet, and neither do their future employers. If you sketched your 4-question compass tonight, drop your map in the comments. We're tracking. Next series, we trace the convergence between longevity medicine and insurance economics. The timeline just accelerated. Welcome to your second act. The quantum leap, the future was hiding in plain sight.